All right, we are going to start in semi-hanging. And so this is where you can use your button anchor and that green stretch out straps with the loops and the wooden dowel to set up instead of using the stall bars. So you want that bar to hit right at about your forehead height. Then you can grab onto that dowel, make sure that your door is shut, everything's really secure. You can grab onto the dowel, walk your feet forward so they're really close to the wall, and then come down like you're sitting in a chair. Your body should look like it's a little bit of a triangle, so you're hinging forward at your hips and leaning your chest in just a bit, and you're gonna be in this nice hanging position. It should feel good, like you're stretching. Think about keeping your neck a continuation of the rest of your spine, so your neck is nice and long through the back. You're dropping your hips low, sending your head up to the ceiling. And we're going to take just a couple of breaths first, thinking about global elongation, trying to just stretch throughout your entire spine. So as you inhale, lengthen, open, lift your rib cage away from your pelvis. And as you exhale, try to hold on to that length. One more breath. Inhale and lengthen, open all throughout your spine, head and hips pressing in opposite directions. As you exhale, hold on to that length. And then we'll take a moment. You can shake out your hands. Usually that's what gets tired. Sometimes it feels nice to just even stretch your wrists. Just give yourself that little moment to rest your hands. And we're going to come back into this semi-hanging position, this time with more focus and emphasis on the derotation and expansion through the concavity of your back. So you're going to go ahead again, grab onto that same bar, come down into your semi-hanging position. On your first breath now, inhale, move your prominence forward and up, concavity out and back. As you exhale, send your head and hips opposite directions. Maintain that expansion. Inhale, lengthen, expand, open through the concavities even more. And then exhale and push head and hips opposite directions. Hold that position. One more breath. Inhale, lengthen, prominence moving forward and up, concavity out and back. Exhale, hold it right there, don't collapse, keep that pressure and tension. And then you can come up out of this position again, shake out your hands. We're gonna come into our supine position next. So you're gonna want your traction belt, your hip strap, one of the wedge bean bags. You can use that door anchor to set up an anchor point in a doorway, or if you wanna run your traction belt around the leg of a heavy table or chair, just something that won't move. So I'm gonna take my traction belt here. You're gonna anchor it low, so just a few inches up off the ground. It's always gonna stay at about the height of your hips. And in supine, we are lying on your back. So we're gonna want that traction belt nice and low. So I'm gonna run that around my bottom bar. And I like to take the buckle and run it away from me so it's not underneath your back when you lie down. If you've got a yoga mat or something out on the ground, usually about halfway out on the yoga mat is about right, maybe just a little bit more. That gives your legs some space when you lie down. You're gonna take that hip strap, run it through the belt. You can get everything set up here. Bring your wedge close so that you have it where you can reach it when you come and lie down. So you're gonna sit right below the hip strap. Try to center that belt like it's a little tail in the center of your back. You're gonna bring the strap low and snug around your hips. Again, keep that wedge close. You can lie down on your back, and from here, you wanna start wiggling backwards so you get that tension, but you don't really wanna arch your back up because it's not so great for your back. So you can give yourself a little bit of a bear hug, wiggle back till you feel like you've got tension on that strap. You can make the strap shorter if you need. My head came off the mat a little bit, so I'm actually gonna sit up and make my strap shorter, so you can make any adjustment that you need if you want, just at the bar if you're way off. Otherwise, you can usually just wiggle back and it's pretty good. So give yourself that little bit of tension there. Once you've got that belt stopping you and you feel like it's stabilizing your hips, you're going to go ahead and check that you're centered here on the mat, so your nose and belly button are lining up. You've got equal spacing between the top of your hips, bottom of your rib cage. Your hips are not over to the left, but they're nice and centered. You can go ahead and take that bean bag. You're going to place it underneath the prominence on your right side. You can tuck it in fairly close to the spine, but not right at the spine, so it's going to stay just a couple inches away. You can look at the pictures if you want to see exactly where we had it when you were here. You can extend that right leg out straight. Left leg stays knee bent, feet flat on the ground. I'm going to bring fingertips up to my shoulders, elbows pressing wide. And then here you are ready to start. First breath, thinking about lengthening globally. Inhale, lengthen, expand, open through the concavities of your back. As you exhale, start creating tension, pressing your elbows wide, pressing your heel to the wall, activating muscles. And now on your next inhale, we're going to be moving your prominence forward and upward away from the pad, out and back towards the ground on the opposite side. So inhale, expand, lift away from the pad, pull that concavity out and back towards the ground on the opposite side. Press your elbows wide, head and hips opposite directions. Inhale again, moving prominence forward and up, concavity out and back. Think about containing that left lower rib, using your obliques to pull that rib cage down to the ground. We should be getting less and less space on this left side here. You can even put your hand there if you want and try to feel like you can smash your hand here. So inhaling forward and up away from the pad, out and back towards the ground on the opposite side. As you exhale, keep pressure and tension there. Don't lose it. Inhale, lengthen, expand, and open. And exhale and push, hold it right there, keep pressure, keep tension, maintain. Inhale, forward and up, out and back. Exhale, push, elbows wide, head and hips opposite directions. Face and neck are relaxed, shoulders down away from your ears. Inhale, lengthen, expand, open even more. And then exhale and push, hold it there, don't collapse, keep pressure. Keep tension, maintain. Inhale, lengthen, expand, open even more. And exhale, hold it right there, don't collapse, keep pressure, keep tension, maintain. 2 more breaths going for maximum expansion. Inhale, lengthen, expand, open through the concavity of your back. Exhale, pull that left rib down, hold it there, don't change anything. 1 more breath, inhale, forward and up, away from the pad, out and back towards the ground on the opposite side. Exhale, keep it right there, keep pressure, keep tension, maintain. Take a couple of breaths naturally. We're going to go ahead and bend your right knee to match your left. You can keep your hands here at your sides or on your shoulders, or if you want, you can bring them down to your sides. We're going to go into a glute bridge. And the main goal is to keep the correction that you have in your trunk while adding just a little bit of movement here. Think specifically about activating that left glute just a little bit more. We want to keep your hips nice and level. So inhale, lengthen, expand, and open. As you exhale, squeeze your core, squeeze your glutes, stay lifted. And you can even try holding this lifted position for a full inhalation and exhalation. Inhaling, moving that prominence forward and upward, concavity out and back. As you exhale, hold it there, don't collapse. Keep that pressure and tension. And then lower back down. We're going to do 2 more. On your next inhalation, inhale, lengthen, expand, and open. As you exhale, squeeze your core, squeeze your glutes, lift. Again, only lifting as far as you can while maintaining as much correction as you can. No bonus points for lifting higher here. We're trying to keep a neutral spine, not getting a lot of extension. Really focusing on containing that left rib, maintaining the expansion through your back, trying to keep hips nice and level. Go ahead and lower back down. One more. Inhale, lengthen, expand, and open. And then exhale and lift. Hold it right there. Keep pressure and tension. Don't change any of the position in your trunk. As you take that full inhalation and exhalation, you should feel like glutes are working, maybe that left side just a little bit extra. Lower back down one more time. We're gonna do some heel taps here next. So again, thinking about maintaining the correction is the most important piece. So before you even begin, you can reset, make sure you're in your best postural correction. Really think about pulling that left rib down, flattening, getting rid of that space on the left side. Prominence on the right has moved away from the pad. Watch that right shoulder. Make sure it's not lifting up and you're not getting a lot of rotation there. You can even keep palm up on that right shoulder side. It kind of helps anchor that shoulder blade just a little bit more sometimes. And then from here, we're gonna go ahead and lift your feet up, hips and knees at 90 degrees. And you're just gonna tap one foot down, then the other. Especially on that end part where your heel is just about in contact with the ground, that's the hardest part. So if you start to feel like you're lifting away from the ground, your back is arching, you can't maintain that postural correction here, you don't have to go all the way down. So it could just be here, working on staying in the correction as much as you can, and then eventually you can go a little bit further and you can get that full tap. So the point and the key is really adding the movement while maintaining the correction. Maybe just a couple more times. Good. You can bring your feet back down to the ground. Reset, make sure you're in your best position. We're gonna go ahead and do just a little bit of a hamstring stretch here. So grab behind your thigh on one leg. You're just gonna slowly bend and straighten that leg. Being nice and gentle. If your hamstrings are tight like mine are today, you may not get your leg all the way straight, and that's just fine. Just getting a little nice movement here. Thinking about as you're doing it, still maintaining as much correction as you can. Lots of length through your spine here. And then we'll go ahead and switch. Same thing, other side. Just bending and straightening at a kind of a slow pace. The goal is that each side feels symmetrical, even if each side is just a little bit tight. As long as they're symmetrically tight, that's usually not such a big deal. And then when you're done here, we're gonna go ahead and take the hip strap off and come up into sitting next. I'm gonna go ahead and undo the strap and move some of this stuff out of my way. So you have some choices for sitting. You could sit flat on the ground, like pretzel style on the ground. You could sit on a chair. You could sit on a yoga block or a little cushion. Lots of different options. If you're sitting flat on the ground for you, you're pretty flexible in your hips. It worked out fine. If you feel like you can't get a nice neutral spine because you're just tight and your back is rounding, then you definitely want to make sure you're sitting up a little bit propped up either on a yoga block or a cushion or just coming into a chair. Either is fine here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a cushion for myself. And so sitting on this cushion, I'm gonna cross my legs, and something else to think about when you cross your legs is that usually the way that we are most comfortable crossing our legs, if you're sitting in a pretzel style, may also be the way that's putting you more into your curve. So if you feel like your default tends to make you put more weight through that right hip, just switch what is your kind of natural tendency and see if it helps just bring some more weight and a little bit more balance to that left side. If you can't tell a difference, it's okay. You can just go with what is natural to you. And then from this sitting position, you still want to be thinking equal weight through your sit bones, sitting nice and tall, nose and belly button lining up, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. I'm going to go ahead and bring fingertips up to my shoulders, elbows pressing wide. First breath, inhale and lengthen globally, lifting your rib cage away from your pelvis, trying to grow as tall as you possibly can. As you exhale, pressing your elbows wide, pressing your head and hips in opposite directions. Then inhale and lengthen, moving that prominence forward and up, concavity out and back. As you exhale, elbows wide, head and hips opposite directions. Keep that pressure and tension. Inhale, lengthen, expand, and open. And then exhale and push, elbows wide, head and hips opposite directions. Hold it right there. Core is active, face and neck relaxed. Inhale, lengthen, expand, and open. And then exhale, push, keep pressure, keep tension, maintain. Inhale, lengthen, expand, open even more. And then exhale, don't collapse, hold it right there, keep pressure, keep tension, maintain. Inhale, growing tall and wide. Exhale, hold it there, don't change anything, keep pressure, keep tension, maintain. 2 more breaths, inhale, lengthen, expand, and open. Exhale, contain that left lower rib, open through the concavity of your back, elbows wide, head and hips opposite directions. Stay tall, stay wide. 1 more breath going for maximum expansion. Inhale, lengthen, expand, and open. And exhale and push, hold it right there, don't change anything, keep pressure, keep tension, maintain. Take a couple of breaths naturally. You can start moving your arms down to your lap, but try not to just go back into your curve. Stay tall, stay open through the concavity of your back. Take a few breaths here. We are gonna do some little arm circles up and down with the goal of just maintaining this correction, not losing it. So, inhaling, lifting your arms up, only going as high as you can go with this motion coming from your shoulders. If you start to feel like you're arching through your back, that's too far. Exhale as you come back down, squeezing your core, pressing your head and hips in opposite directions. You should really feel like your core is actively engaged. You're really trying to get that derotation to continue to happen, even though you've added some extra work here of the arm movement. Up and down 1 more time. Exhaling as you're coming down. Reset. See if you are still in your best postural correction. You can bring your hands to your hips. You can think about elongating even more for just a second here. Staying long, staying tall. We're gonna go ahead and come up into standing for just a moment next. So you can scoot. If you're using a prop, you can scoot that out of the way, because we're just gonna go ahead and come up into standing. You're gonna find your best standing position. Thinking about equal weight through your feet, pelvis right underneath your trunk, nose and belly button lining up. We're gonna take just a couple of breaths here. Inhaling and lengthening, growing tall and wide. As you exhale, thinking about pressing your head and hips opposite directions. Core is active, glutes should feel active. From the side, imagine like you're getting squished between two panes of glass. So your core is active, glutes are active. That's keeping that line of ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over ankles. Inhale, lengthen, move your prominence forward and up, concavity out and back. Exhale, hold it right there. Press your elbows wide, press your head and hips in opposite directions. Inhale, lengthen, expand, open even more. And then exhale and push, hold it right there. Keep pressure, keep tension, maintain. Inhale, lengthen, expand, open through the concavity of your back. Exhale, hold it there, don't collapse, keep pressure, keep tension, maintain. One more breath, inhale, lengthen, expand, and open. And then exhale, hold it there, don't change anything, keep pressure, keep tension, maintain. As you are done here, you're gonna lower your hands down to your sides, but try not to change anything about your alignment and position. Take just a few breaths to let that sink in. Try to maintain this nice neutral spine for as much as you can throughout the day. And good job.